All right, what we've got, if I can find it, there it is. Can you see? I'll put some more light on it. Let's try again. What we have right there, if you look close, it'd be nice if we could zoom in. But we can, see if I can do it this way. You're looking, this is the upper portion. That's my bit. This is the V-bit that I put in the lathe. I'm not touching them, but those are lined up. And that's going to give me my 0. You see it? It's going to give me my 0 in my X direction and my 0 in the Z direction. So I'm going to 0 this right now. So I'll come back over here. I guess I need to turn off my flash, but for now that's good. I'm going to hit 0. Okay. So that's my 0, my 0, 0, 0. Because I'm about a ½ inch out from here, and I'll be turning the okay, if you can see that, what I've done, I've got it lined up, and if you look, the 0 is pretty much the same. Up and down this way is 0. And if I go, oops, get my thumb out of the way. Well, this is hard to do by yourself, but it is what it is. Ready? There it is. Now I can turn this, and you see I can move my center, and I want to line, and then X plane. I want to line that up to that tip and then tighten it down. So that's my next task. That allows me to have straight from on the X-axis from left to right, and my up and down, which is my Z, those are all 0. Now, in the program, the Y direction is going to be moving along this way, and that's my Y wrap direction, and it'll be from left to right. If you want to do something longer than 17, you have to lay your axis out that way. Okay, a couple pointers. You don't really want to set up a touch point down here every time when you set this up. So what we're going to do is 0 from the top of this, because the distance from the top of this to that point is going to be fixed and stay the same all the time. So when you 0 it on the top of this, you have to have an insulator, and I just use a simple piece of paper underneath. This paper then keeps this from grounding out, because when you don't do it, this shorts out here instead of shorting out here. So you got to have a piece of paper there to keep it from grounding out, because you normally do this on plastic or wood when you're homing, so you don't have to use an insulator. But when you put it up here, you got to put an insulator underneath it. Then you got to figure out the distance from homing it here to this point. And you do a 0 basically, so you set your 0, then you move it over here. So you have 0, 0, 0, and it'll come out over here. But move it over here first, because if you try to go 0, 0, 0 the other way, it's going to crash from here to here. It'll go right through your machine. You'll break your tip. You don't want to do that. So move it over here first, and then move to Z. Then you manually move it down once to this point. The distance from here to here for me is, in other words, the distance from that tip to this tip is 1.99 inches. So once I get over here at 0, 0, I'll then go to Z0 and set that Z0 at 1.990. Okay? So that's how I set this up. Now with all that set up, I know where my 0 is. I can remove this, put my material in, and go. And I'm going to write that down. That 1.99 is going to be right on here. I'll do it with felt pen, but I'll do it with pencil now so you know what I mean. 1.99 on the Z when I 0 up here. Another thing that I found out, which is kind of neat, is this screw hole right here is lined up with my Y. So now I can know where I can line up my Y, and home off here I'll have my X-axis. This is in line all the way along that center. So if I line it up here, That'll line it up with the center of the shaft. So that gives me my 2 alignments. So my Y will actually be over here. So we're all set. Alright, I've got it running. This is my first ever 4th axis cut. So this is a 0.6 blank. I've cut it down to 0.6 inches either way. And it's going to reduce it down to a 0.5 blank. And it's interesting, unlike a lathe that spins really fast and then your cutting bit or tool is stationary, I have a high-speed cutting tool and a slow-speed lathe. Now, I called NextWave to try to figure out how do I get this to spin faster. And this speed, which is our Y speed, and our X speed are interlocked. Now, if you watch the X-axis move this way, you'll see that it jumps rather quickly. See it there? It just jumps. So I'm not going to be able to mess with the acceleration and deceleration parameters, and it's only moving 0.06 inches at a time. So I'm going to increase right now at 100 inches per second. I'm going to bump this up to 300 inches per second, and 400 and 600, and just to see what it'll do. Because the way it's going right now, I've been cutting on this for 20 minutes, and it's gone that far. And the software says, oh, you'll be done with that in 30 minutes total. Well, I want to get to it before I'm going to grade. So I'm going to increase those parameters to see what we get. Alright, this is the 3rd pass, and it takes about 20 minutes to pass. So this time it's going to be all the way to the end. And it looks like it's pretty much done. I've got a round rod pointer, a 0.5 round rod. Runs my fingers below it so the tooling can't get to it. The chattering, what I did, I called NextWave because it started chattering on me after I used it for about an hour. A little hole up here. You use your dry lubricant, you put it in there, and that lubricated the bearing so it stops making it necessary or require the force that it would chatter. So that fixed it, and it's been running ever since. I'll have to check on the interval for lubrication, but basically I shot a little bit in here in case it was between those two, and then shot some in here to lubricate the bearing. And that was it. And I used the same stuff. Alright, what we're going to do is show you how to move your A-axis. As you know, the Z-axis is right here, and it makes it go up and down. But what I want to look at is over here. If I touch here, down here in the lower left corner, you can see where it says View A. And what that does is it now, see it up there? That's your A-axis. So if I tell my A-axis to move 100 and move, you'll see that it moves. And I also can go either direction with my A-axis. So that's how you manually move the A-axis from your touch screen. So to put it back, you simply press here, go to View Z, and now the Z-axis is up there. Close it, and we're back to our normal, where our X, Y, and Z. So there's a tip for you on your rotary axis, how to use your touch screen to access it. Have a great day.